we are back for another weekend edition here of the LosAlamitos.com TV show. I'm your host, Jose Contreras, and it seems like we should turn this show into a traveling show, Michael, because either someone's remotely, either I am or either you are. We're all changing directions every which way now. So where are you heading this time around?
Well, as you can see, Jose, I'm literally strapped in for this week's episode of the preview show. Had hoped to be able to report from Santa Rosa, but Bay Area traffic being what it is, that just hasn't quite panned out. And as we record on this mid-afternoon on a Thursday, I'm being chauffeur-driven up the 101 from San Francisco towards Santa Rosa. There's my chauffeur.
Hi, Kathy.
So, going to the races tomorrow. I called the Santa Rosa races the Sonoma County Fair for a decade before it was interrupted by COVID, and obviously I got the job around that time at Los Alamitos. And so they've been using Matt Dinnerman from Golden Gate Fields to call the races. The last couple of years they've been up and running again. But Kathy and I just decided that we liked the area so much and wanted to see some people, visit with some folk, and we just thought we'd take a little trip up here. I'll be the guest on their handicapping seminar tomorrow before the races. I'll leave the announcing to Matt Dinnerman, and I'll just have a social day at the races at the Sonoma County Fair tomorrow and hop a flight back to Los Angeles tomorrow night. I cannot trust the airlines these days to fly on Saturday. So it's a quick trip for me. Kathy will take a few extra days and spend them with her parents who are in the Bay Area. So that's the plan. That's the situation. But at the moment, mate, it's pretty slow going heading north on the 101.
Like it usually is about pretty much any freeway in Southern California or Northern California for that matter. You hit they turn into parking lots more often than not. So wishing you a speedy getaway out there and a safe trip as well. You got an A1 chauffeur, so you should be there in no time. Why don't we talk about that? It's deja vu because last week we had a carryover in the pick six leading into Saturday, which is the exact same scenario we have tonight. This weekend exactly. We have 45,000 in the pick six. Nobody hit it. Last week it was 37,000, so it's a larger carryover. We do have a John Deere Juvenile to complete the card. We do have was Impressum on Saturday? It was Impressum and Scoops right on Saturday. Okay, so we have a little bit of scenario. We don't have a big favorite or a big two favorites in this type of race, but it should be a very good pick six sequence here to boot. And we could have just taken the week off. You came with a winner. Chris came with a winner. I chipped in with a winner. It was a nice week for the show.
Yes, it was fabulous. And our three winners happened to be in successive races across the middle portion of the card. You and I hit the mid-card double. And that paid about 9 or 10 to 1. And then the pick three, including Chris's selection, paid about 45 to 1. So it was a very noteworthy edition of the preview show. I guess all we can do is try and equal that because we can't really top it unless I suppose the payouts are even better.
Yeah, and I don't think we've ever – I can't remember the last time we actually had picks in consecutive races. I think that might have been the only time it happened. I can't think of many other races where we couldn't combine of all three selections, but that's the way it landed, and they all came through. So that was a good way to wrap up the show last week. So let's talk about this week's card on Saturday. 10 races. It will conclude with the John Deere Juvenile California Regional Challenge, and you have a selection for us in that event.
At pretty good odds. One of three Monte Rosa trainees who will occupy the outside three post positions. And one of them is the big favorite, Double Down 1, 2, 3, winner of the kindergarten futurity from the outside post. And Double Down 1, 2, 3 has post position 8 for this John Deere Juvenile California Regional Challenge, the last of 10 on Saturday night. But Jose, at 8 to 1, I'm going with the next door neighbor, number 9, Jess Dynasty Time, as a chance to shake things up at good odds. In the trial, which we're about to show you, Jess Dynasty Time was off slowly from post position number 2. In fact, he actually brushed the gate leaving. And if you look at the drone shot, the overhead shot, Just Dynasty Time was second last in the early going.
Yes, here's the replay. It was at trial, race number 9 on this evening, and he was in gate 2, and this was a valiant effort after breaking hitting the inside part of the gate here. Gate 2.
Yeah, and he went off 4-1. He was well in commission, and in the field of 7, he came from 6th after that poor break to finish 3rd, beaten a half length. I thought it was a really good effort along the inside.
Yeah, this was at this point, you're thinking he's got no shot against the winner, but he actually puts up a valiant effort. And you mentioned he took betting support. He was 4-1 in that field.
Yes, and he also went off at 5-1 in a trial to the Ed Burke Million Futurity. And in that trial, he had the rail. He finished 4th behind the subsequent winner of the race, Political Rivalry. No, that's not right. Political Rivalry won the Ed Burke, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the horse who scratched from the kindergarten and won the Ed Burke.
Yes.
So Just Dynasty Time ran 4th to Political Rivalry from the rail at 5-1 in an Ed Burke Million trial. In between those 2 futurity trials, broke his maiden at 300 yards in pretty decent time, 15.66. Now, I'll admit the horse has not run as fast as the favourite Double Down 1-2-3, but you're looking at 8-1 versus 7-5, and my horse has drawn directly outside the favourite, which might help a little bit. If you look at Ed Burgart's morning line, away from the favourite Double Down 1-2-3, it's pretty open. The second choice is number 5, Flying Cowgirl 3-2-1, who won the trial we just showed you, that Just Dynasty finished 3rd in. Now, consider that Just Dynasty went off 4-1, and Flying Cowgirl 3-2-1 was let go at 10-1. Now you see a big flip-flop in the odds where you're getting about twice the price for Just Dynasty Time. And, there was a half-length margin between them. Just Dynasty Time along the inside after that poor break did all right. I just think that that the value is there with the switch to an outside post to give this horse a good look.
I like it. I like the price, and your rationale there on the price is very good. And we're kind of thinking that Flying Cowgirl 3-1 was a price because she hadn't been tested up to that point, but she won the trial. She loved the extra 50 yards, so that's a good place to be. But I think the price is enticing on Just Dynasty Time as well. Out there in gate number 9 will be definitely a horse that I think is plenty live. I think it's in a very, very good open John Deere final outside of the favorite.
Yes, I agree. Double Down 1-2-3 is going to be double tough to beat, no doubt about it. But at 8-1, that's juicy enough for me to have a little dig here with Just Dynasty Time. Really good chance to at least shake up the exotics, and has an upset chance to take the whole thing.
That's going to be a good way to close out not only the Saturday night program, but also the pick 6 sequence as well, with the carryover in excess of $45,000. All right, so how far into your trip are you? How many more hours to go?
We're probably about 45 minutes away.
Okay.
And there's a couple of craft breweries of high repute that are calling my name this evening.
I like how you have everything meticulously calculated and planned out. I like that. Planned pit stops and everything in between.
For sure. So going to catch up with a good mate of mine tonight over a couple of quality ales, and then saddle up for the handicapping seminar before the races tomorrow at the Sonoma County Fair. And I'll be back at LAX, all being well, late tomorrow night. And just in time to watch the Australian Women's World Cup quarterfinal against France. I'll be strapped in for that, I think around midnight after I get back Friday night. So, mate, sleep is of secondary priority these days.
Sleep is overrated. Who needs sleep either way? It's overrated up to this point.
Yeah, the alarm went off about 2:55 a.m. today, we were on a flight out of LAX at 6:05. We've been doing some other things with Kathy's family this morning in the Bay Area, so it's a pretty hectic couple of days, but it's all good, all fun, and at least I can relax in the passenger seat and have a chat to you while Kathy has to focus on the driving.
Yeah, tell her to not make any deviations to any casinos that might pop along the road. Just keep straight,
right.
get to the destination, and we should be ready to go. Now, for the viewers, do you know if the preview handicapping show from from Santa Rosa is available through the live video on the ADW?
That's a good question, and unfortunately, the answer is no. It's on track only. Yeah, not included in their simulcast signal. I've always thought that was unfortunate, but it's just the way it is.
All right. Well, good to catch up with you. Thank you for chiming in, and have a good rest of your trip. We'll see you back here at Los Alamitos Saturday night.
Okay, mate. Hooroo.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.
Welcome back. Well, just like last week, Chris, we had a carryover heading into the Saturday night program. This time, it's even bigger than last week. Last week, it was $37,000. And tonight, this Saturday night, it's going to be over $45,000. So a nice big six carryover. And kudos to you and Michael, of course. Winners. It was a nice consecutive pick three between all three of us.
Yeah, our numbers were pretty solid. You had like a 3-1 shot. I think yours like 3-1, and then of course Michael's went off at 8-5. Mine went off at 2-1. Short prices, but well meant, and they all got home victorious. And pick three come back over $46. So it was a very, very nice little return there for that triple.
And I was talking to Michael. I don't remember many times where we all had a selection that was consecutive. So those might have been one of the only opportunities where we had a combined pick three. So well done to you and Michael, of course. The pressure on my shoulders was off because I was the first one up to bat. I got my single out of the way. Now next up to bat was you and Michael. So I was free and clear, or just on first base, waiting for you guys to come up to the plate. I'm glad you guys came through. Nice selections by both you and Michael.
Well, yours was pretty good. Yours was a first-time starter that ran very, very well, won by a head, and was very, very game of victory.
That time looked better and better as the night progressed because the times weren't getting much faster. So BFE's outrageous. That was a very sparkling debut win. I think yours was the closest photo finish of all three, right?
Yeah, he won by a nose, got the head down right on top of the wire, and very, very close finish. You might have a long shot coming out of that race as well. The horse, the 7 to the outside, lost all chance when drifting out steadily, but was very impressive with running 30 at a big, big price. I'll be one to watch next time. The horse has always shown ability, but with 2 lifetime starts, much, much trouble. One to watch.
Yeah, that horse probably should have won if that one kept a straight path because that one was kind of getting out. So, yeah, good observation on that long shot. That might be live next time out. Let's talk about this Saturday night. And you'll have selection of race number 7, which is the start of the late pick 4, part of the pick 6 sequence as well. And here it is, the PPs, race number 7, 300 yards, maidens for the quota horses. There are 4 first-time starters, the 1, the 2, the 4, and the 5. And actually, the 2 and the 4 have been working together. Mambasita, the 2 out of work, Carving a Legacy, looked a little bit better, a little bit more prepared and ready to go than Carving a Legacy. But those are 2 of the 4 first-time starters. And I know you like the looks of Silverback, the second-time starter on the outside.
Yeah, this horse was a $25,000 yearling select at Rio Doso. But this horse did show ability in those 2 morning preps prior to the debut. I gave the first drill that 12.8 was a B minus for me. Then he stepped it up to an A minus in the second drill. So I thought the horse had a look at the outcome. He's well meant, well connected, and horse had a look in that debut, but got fractious in the gate, broke slow, veered in, got intimidated by the rail, and basically he was just sucked back with a good amount of run behind horses. But what caught the eye was the finish. This horse was finished strongly on own and galloped out very, very impressively.
Yeah, here's the replay. She was on the inside draw, which is never ideal, but horses can handle it immediately on debut. But she was 3-1 in this field of 6. She had the inside post, and she's gonna bobble at the start, and the start was not ideal, but she was still trying to show some run.
Yeah, she back bobbled away from the gate and kind of pushed inward a little bit away from the gate, and it fell back, but got a little rank and veered in, and then got intimidated by the rail, was crossed, and basically taking a hold of the final half. Was asked a little bit midway, but watch this finish right here. This horse leveled out strongly right into the wire, right about here, and then it's finished like a monster right here and galloped out very, very strong. You'll see this horse move forward right there into that turn, and did show a good amount of ability in that troubled debut. Just didn't really like the inside post, but now goes from the inside to the outside and can definitely move forward here and run back to that second drill and be a big factor in that 7th event kicking off the late pick 4.
I do like the move from the inside to the outside, all the way to the outside after one start on the rail. Let's show that workout prior to the debut. The one that was the latest one, which was June 10th. And we have it right here for the viewing public. And again, all these workouts are available for free to the viewing public at losalamitos.com. And she was on the outside of this 3-team set, and she looked very professional in this drill.
Yeah, she sure did. She was minor matters inside the gate. She broke well, broke clean, was kind of a little bit head cocked sideways, but leveled out, was moving very, very strong. Look at the stride, long stride, under a hold, jockey never moved a muscle, and was just kept on going. Was very, very impressive. I gave it an A-, very impressive workout, and runs back that early speed, has a big look in that 7th event.
Yeah, and if she is able to keep that energy and that path as far as be more professional tonight, she obviously deserves a much better look here against this group. Now, she's going to need to be not only sharper out of the break, but if she can kind of prove us that workout was something that she can run at night, then obviously she's got a big, big shot here in race number 7.
Yeah, like you said, she improved from the first drill to the second drill and showed ability in the debut despite all that trouble. And you're always rooting for the Winslows, Mark and Marta Winslow. They own the horse with Steve Burns and Jose Flores. So I always rooting for them because they're always here and supporting Los Alamitos up in the Vessels Club. Some very, very nice people, as they all are. But this horse, I think, has a big look at the outcome. This horse runs back to that drill, just breaks and runs straight. And big look in the late pick 4 lid lifter.
And Chris, doesn't it show good intent when you see the breeder say, I want to remain in. Give me a piece. Let me in. I want to stay in. Even though Dr. Steve Burns is the breeder, he still want to remain a piece of the ownership as there with the partners. So I think that shows good intent when the breeder still wants to be part of the ownership group. Yeah,
certainly. That's a good observation. This horse, he bred the horse and went back in and got a piece of the pie along with the trainer and Mark and Marta Winslow. So big look at the outcome. Good looking, nice size individual. This horse runs back to that second drill, breaks and runs straight. Kicking off that late pick 4 is one of our better plays in the racing card in that 7th affair.
All right, Chris. So the pressure now is on to you because I can tell you, you're going to be first up to bat this Saturday. You're going to race number 7, right? You're going to be the leadoff man. I'm going to be giving out a selection in race number 9, and then Michael is in race number 10. So we're not consecutively back to back to back, but we are 3 legs of the pick 4, and you're going up to bat first. So I hope you're seeing the fastball well, and I hope you come right back with a winner.
It certainly helps. Let's just do what we did last week, and it's get her done, as my grandpa used to say.
It sounds so easy. It sounds so easy, right? Just one pick, one selection, just get a winner. It just sounds so easy. So it's not as easy as it looks. So best of luck with Silverback, 5-2 for Jose Flores on the outside in race number 7, start of the late pick 4. And again, pick 6 carryover. That's a $45,000. Should be a fun night of racing at Los Alamitos. Chris, always fun talking to you. Have a good rest of your Thursday. I'll see you this weekend back at Los Al.
All right, bye. You have a good night.
You too.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.
Welcome back with that pick six in excess of $45,000. That could get us into the close to $200,000 potential pick six pool based on previous history. Last week's $37,000 produced a total pool for somewhere in the $180,000 if I remember correctly. So this could be a very nice pick six pool to tackle, and it's going to be a very challenging sequence, not only with the John Deere Juvenile, but also some of the earlier races. Start of the pick six look very competitive on paper. Let's talk about my single in the pick six. My single in the pick six will be in race number 9. Race number 9 for the quarter horses. They're going 300 yards. Allowance event, 300 yards, field of 6. And you can see straight and through comes out of a very good third place finisher, behind a pair of sharp runners and Always a Chance. Who came back to finish second in the stakes event on California Breeders' Champions Weekend. Corona Rose can show very good gate speed. So straight and true was third best against a good group. I'm going to go to the outside as my single. It is going to be One Sweet Bar. Now, he's returning from a layoff. Has not been seen since January 28th when he was part of those winter derby trials. And he just was not able to be much of a factor after breaking slowly, moving inwards, and finishing evenly in a field of 9. But he did take good betting support. He was 4-1 in the field of 9. He just ran flat, never looked like he was going to be much of a threat after breaking slowly from the inside post, and wasn't much of a factor the rest of the way. Now, the winner, Take a Swig of This, came back to win the final. Pragmatic was one of our plays on this show just a couple of weekends ago. He was a very tough nose defeat. He's back in good form. So One Sweet Bar will be my single on Saturday night for the pick six. And let's take a look at the effort from 2 starts ago. January 7th will be the replay for One Sweet Bar. He had the outside post in this allowance event. He was the betting favorite from the outside post in this allowance event. He's going to break what I thought a little sluggish there. You can see the hind end kind of a little bit of a bobble, nothing overly significant, but just didn't get out as sharply as some other runners in this spot. And he just kept grinding. He wasn't really, looking like he was going to get there, but he ended up finishing a pretty solid second, only beating the neck. And I think that slight hesitation at the start, the back legs, a little bit of a bobble right there, that might have ended up costing the win, given that the winner was in gate 4 and actually broke on top with good gate speed. So he was a betting favorite that day. Then he came back in those trials, like I mentioned, and he wasn't much of a factor. But that defeat by a neck, he still put up a very decent 1564 individual clocking, and it wasn't the best of starts. Now, he gets the outside post once again. I like that they gave him some time off, and he returns with a pretty sharp turn work, 220 and 220 yards in 12.20. Ayala has been aboard for his most dominating win, and obviously he showed plenty of promise as a 2-year-old, making it all the way to the kindergarten as one of the horses that was getting bet in that final. So One Sweet Bar to me, off the layoff, freshened up, gets the outside post, turn work, Ayala back aboard. A lot of things to like. He will be my single in race number 9, my lock of the night, to key off of that pick six sequence on this carryover night on Saturday. And of course, we talked to Michael Wrona about the John Deere Juvenile, which we race number 10, and that will conclude the pick six. But let's take a quick look at the sequence, to see what the races are part of this pick six. And we'll begin with race number 5 on that 10 race program. Race number 5, very good allowance. Nobody's going to be huge odds. Horses in good form. Whiskey, My God, Midnight Somewhere, Equipo A, just won by 3. Fast Per Se is probably going to be the longest shot on the board, based that he was defeated there by a few of those, by Midnight Somewhere, Secret Rose, always in the mix of things, and Proud Veteran just defeated Secret Rose. So that's a very competitive race to kick off the pick 6. Race number 6 will be another 1,000-yard event. This is for the maidens. You can see that Sanyak, the 4, coming in from Del Mar, is going to take some play, 2-1. Roller Love, coming in from Santa Anita, 3-1 is going to take some play. Those are going to be the top betting choices in that second event. And then we get into the pick 6 sequence, which Chris is all in on Silverback off of that troubled and bobbled debut, moving from the rail to the outside. So I'll key in on race number 9. That'll be my selection. That'll be One Sweet Bar on the outside. That's going to do it for this week's preview. A couple of 3 selections, Michael Wrona, Christopher Wade, and yours truly. Hopefully we can repeat the good showings from last week and give you some key horses to key on that potential pick 6, because there is a nice carryover heading into Saturday night. And of course, we'll have the John Deere California Regional Challenge to conclude the evening up in race number 10. As we look at the schedule moving ahead, Golden State Derby final will be on Sunday. So that's what we have here, highlighting the weekend of racing at Los Alamitos. John Deere Juvenile on Saturday, and then the Golden State Derby on Sunday, the 13th. All right, have a good rest of your Thursday afternoon. We hope you join us for some racing from Los Alamitos each and every Saturday night, as we always do. And stay tuned to those post times, as we'll be following the action after Del Mar concludes their daytime racing schedule down in San Diego. So have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll see you this weekend at Los Alamitos.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick 6 continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick 6 can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick 6 is one of the country's best.